here with Julie McLaren, and we're going to go ahead and basically just break down this epic 5v1 play that took place during Worlds. So, Julie, how are you doing?
I'm good. Thanks for having me.
Thanks for hopping on. So, you had a huge play that I wanted to kind of just pick the brain of and understand what was going on. So, we'll just dive right into it. So, right now, we're going to kind of set the stage. It's we're looking at 6v2. So, you're on my left, and who's to your left, our right?
That'd be Brogan Moore would be on the other side of me.
Brogan Moore. Okay, cool. Okay, so and I'm thinking this is sudden death, right? Clock 0-0. You
Yes.
guys are both on the back line.
Yes.
Gotcha.
Yep.
What's so one of the things I wanted to ask was it's 22-0. At this point, you guys are just going for the full shutout. Is that correct?
Yeah. That's definitely what our goal was, and I even think the coach said, "Hey, girls, I want this win," and I think our adrenaline was pumping pretty hard, so we were gonna get the win. That was our goal.
Gotcha. Not going to ease up at all by any means. I mean,
No.
this is Worlds. This is where it's all at. So you got to leave it all on the court. But go ahead and start the play here. So it looks like what was it, Brogan? I think you said.
Brogan, yes.
Okay, she does a pretty good job staying alive. But what's going on through your mind here? So one player already got I think self-eliminated by crossing the line, but pretty soon
Yes.
your play is going to begin. So if you just kind of want to narrate what's going on here.
So in that moment, we discussed that I was going to throw on ball in front of me, and she was going to throw on ball in front of her. So I proceeded to do that. I missed in the first shot, but she kind of fell a little awkwardly. That left her a little vulnerable. So I chose to throw the next ball at her, which ended up hitting her out. And in that moment when I was backing up was when I realized Brogan was out. I didn't quite know at the time. So that's when I realized by that point it was a 4v1. And I had, I'm pretty sure 4 balls at the time. I think they had 2, but I don't think their ball retriever quite got it to them in time. So my goal from there was honestly just to follow the ball. Wherever they were trying to give the ball, that's where I was going. I didn't want to keep my eyes off the girls because I didn't want them to feel like they had the opportunity to pick up that ball. So I kept just following it down the line. And that was kind of my goal. I was pretty in the zone, to be honest. I just kept watching ball going down the line. My ball strikers right there with balls waiting for me there, and yeah, it was pretty intense actually. My adrenaline was pumping pretty hard.
Did you like freak out when you saw your teammate go out, or you just honed in on executing at that point? Like, were you scared at all? Not scared, just nervous, or did it change your play at all?
No, actually, I think I would say I was excited. That's not the right words to say. I think my adrenaline was pumping so hard, and I was just so determined to get that win, especially because it's my rookie year. I guess I just wanted to, I don't want to say prove, but I mean, I wanted to show them that I could close this out for everybody. So I think my confidence just really was really high, and I just kind of went with it. And yeah, I guess it kind of unfolded like that, I guess, in the end.
Yeah, it just couldn't be stopped. So we're gonna watch. You mentioned the retriever, so 0-8. Poor kid. Like he did his best.
I know.
He did a good handoff, but then he just kind of left 21 on Team Italy just dead to rights. I mean, you're already getting started. You got the momentum, and as you say, like you're following this one ball that just goes basically from our right to left, just bam, bam, bam.
Exactly. They kept trying to pass it over to each other, so I just kind of kept following the ball, because the moment someone picks up a ball, it's usually they're more vulnerable or they're freak out a little bit faster. So I didn't want to give them the opportunity to pick it up, so I just kind of kept following down the line, and that's kind of what my goal was.
So let's look at this angle here, because I think I see you talking to. Is that your coach?
Nope, that is the ball striker.
Ball
The
striker.
coach is behind him.
Okay.
Which I think if I remember correctly, I'm pretty sure he was saying the same thing as each throw on ball, and I think that's what we were discussing anyway. I think all 3 of us already kind of knew that we were gonna, like, she was gonna throw in the person with the ball in front of her, and I was gonna throw in the person with the ball in front of me. That's what I remember reiterating back and forth to Brogan, and I'm pretty sure coach was also saying that. But I'm not gonna lie, I don't totally remember, because I think it was just in the heat of the moment. So
One at a time, just bam, bam, bam.
I know. It's crazy, because like looking at it like from now, like, because when I played it, I don't think of it this way, right? So watching it back is pretty, like, I look pretty intense. I look very, very intense.
Yeah, you look really intense. And then so your teammates are cheering you on. I'm sure that pumped everybody up. Yeah, you just look like you're, I don't know, like.
Well,
like,
I'll give some backstory as to why that was so much. Like, I mean, okay, a 5v1 is awesome, but the biggest thing there was when I tried out for Team Canada. So at the national tournament, there was a game that I was in. So it was my team versus another team, and it was a tie game. So it went to overtime, and then it went to sudden death. and it came down to me versus two girls. I ended up taking out one girl. Like I threw a ball at her and hit her out, so it was 1v1. And in that moment, I completely forgot that it was sudden death and that there was no blocking. So I blocked in this round, which ended up making our team lose and not proceed on to I think it was playoffs. Yeah, and it was live streamed and everyone saw it. Like it was a pretty big moment because people will still bring it up to me this day. And that was like beginning of April. And even when the coach called and offered me a spot, I think he even cracked a joke on it. Like every time there's sudden death, I can tell you right now, like the team, like the girls in Team Canada will always crack a joke, be like, "Hey, Julie, it's no blocking," and I'm like, "Oh, I know." Like it's one of those. It's funny now, and I carry it on. It's totally cool. But so I think the biggest moment was like this was no blocking. I ended up taking out I took out 5 girls, right? So I think it was more that redeeming quality because after when I was yelling, the coach was even saying like, look where you've come from nationals to now. That's where like this win was a big win for me more like with my confidence and kind of how far I've come with the team. So that's also why everyone was so excited because everyone always cracks a joke on no blocking. And that's just kind of, this one just ended up being really awesome versus the one that everyone remembers me by back in nationals. So yeah.
Yeah, that's a great way to be remembered, to go from, I didn't block against 5 people, so I think I'm clean now, even though it's probably going to, be part of you forever.
Yeah, so it's kind of like a clean slate. Exactly. I think that's what also just made me very excited. Like, obviously, the 5v1 is awesome, and like that's something to be very proud of. I think just for myself, it felt like I redeemed myself from that moment in nationals that everyone watched. So
nice. And then speaking of like redemption, it shows. I think you showed up in the local article. Is this?
Oh yeah, Valley. Oh yeah. So I grew up in Morden, Manitoba. So Morden and Winkler are right beside each other. So that's kind of where I grew up for most of my life. So I had them reach out to me and asked if they can do an interview. And I mean, I know one of the gentlemen who runs it because I went to school with him. So I was more than happy to do so. And I went out there and visited my parents when I was out there, and they interviewed me out there. And yeah, it's a pretty epic picture now that I'm looking at it. It's very intense.
I'll say it's I don't know if redemption is the right word, but like you said earlier, it's a great way to show like to go from I don't want to say a botch, but like a mishap 2v1 to 5v1 and maintaining that discipline, not blocking, tracking that ball, understanding their vulnerabilities, and just really just tearing this team apart and bringing that close out. So that's awesome.
Yeah.
Cool.
It's I love watching this back. It's just interesting because I remember it so differently in my head. Because obviously when you're on the court, right? I remember it differently. So watching myself in here, it's neat. It's really cool to watch, and it's a great memory to have. I'm glad this was live streamed, I guess, so I can watch it back.
Oh, we're all grateful too. And I'm watching like you're kind of holding. You've kind of pinned down 2 players. 5 like she wants to get that ball, and you're just not having it.
No.
And it's what I like about these clips is like the more you watch them, the more you can analyze them and figure out what's going on, and you can see like, okay, there is some thought process to this quick 30 seconds that took place. Like from the outsider's perspective, it looks like you just went ham, which you did, but there's a lot of analyzing that took place and strategy. So you said earlier you're tracking the ball, and is very effective, and result is a win. So that's awesome.
Yeah, it's awesome watching it back and seeing how like what was going through my head and what ball I was watching, and it's so cool to watch back. I'm watching right now, and I'm just like, I'm get so excited because I mean I know what the result is, but just watching how I executed, I'm very proud of. I'm glad that I did so well in this moment, and everyone was so excited. So when I analyzed it, I also watched the bench and the coach to see what their reactions were. That's what I started to analyze, and you can see the coach Coach Vic started to put his clipboard down as I started getting less and less. He puts the clipboard down, almost ready to celebrate in a way, and I think that makes me happy. Like just seeing my team so excited, and that I've made them proud. So
yeah, he's getting ready to charge you. As is the look at the retrievers too, just running across the court. Whoever that guy is, that makes a huge difference. They're like the 7th, 8th player on the team, what have you.
Mm-hmm. Oh my gosh, I think my father and my husband are in the crowd too, and I can hear them just screaming. Like my husband has lost his voice. He couldn't talk after that day.
Nice. So So that was this week's edition of Ballistae's Protector of the Court. If you have a play that you would like broken down, hit us up at admin@ballistaegear.com or via any of our related social media channels. Be sure to tag us and utilize the hashtag Protector of the Court, and we'll see you in the next one.